Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now December 4th of 2021, and we're only getting closer to the official release of the Book of Boba Fett on December 29th, which is really getting a lot of fans very hyped up for The Mandalorian Season 3, as well as everything that's going to connect to the Book of Boba Fett series by Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, Robert Rodriguez, and others out there. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, I am on Twitter at Mike01 if you guys want to go ahead and give me a follow on there. I do post a couple of entertaining things on there from time to time and interact with you guys further. So, what's really all the more exciting has everything to do with the fact that we are now getting very close to 2022, which, by the way, is going to be the busiest year for Star Wars, both on Disney's end and for the Star Wars fans around the world to really invest themselves in all of this new material coming out. We have, of course, 5 TV shows for next year, technically speaking. Given that Book of Boba is not going to be releasing until the 29th, it's going to roll into 2022. So, we have a lot of things coming our way. Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are doing everything in their power to really steer things in the right direction, to really bring things on the right path, so to speak. And I really do respect that. You know, when you look at what Jon Favreau has been saying for the past couple of weeks now of how they're going to be incorporating a lot of Star Wars legends and a lot of rejected ideas from legends as well into the Disney canon to kind of use that for new ways of storytelling, that to me I think is all the more exciting of what's really coming our way for the new Star Wars universe. So, with that being said, what's really interesting of what Lucasfilm has been going through has everything to do with the character of Luke Skywalker. By far, one of the most fan-favorite characters in the Star Wars universe, if not the most fan-favorite character. Now, when we go ahead and examine everything related to Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and others, what's really intriguing is that with both Disney and Lucasfilm getting ready to begin filming the Ahsoka Tano series in early 2022, both Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are working hard on The Mandalorian Season 3 in order to get things rolling with the new universe of Star Wars. However, it's described that currently Lucasfilm is making some major adjustments to the Star Wars brand behind the scenes. One big decision that they recently went through was something significant with the character Luke Skywalker. It's described that just recently Lucasfilm decided to erase one of Luke Skywalker's major scenes for the Mandoverse that was going to appear in The Mandalorian Season 3. This scene involved a full-fledged sequence that involved Luke Skywalker entering into Jabba's palace, where he was going to meet with Lando Calrissian, where both Luke and Lando would eventually have to face new foes in the middle of the palace. Now, giving fans a brand new take on the scene with Luke during his time in the palace in Episode 6, this scene was going to be used as a way to actually tie things directly into the Lando TV series that was going to be used to set up the first episode of that show. However, given that there are many changes happening to the Lando series, this scene has now been erased from The Mandalorian Season 3. The scene also involved Luke Skywalker trailing through the desert of Tatooine with R2-D2 by his side, where he eventually meets Lando Calrissian approaching him toward, of course, on some form of speeder, informing Luke that there are enemy forces ahead. Lucasfilm was actually aiming to, of course, and planning for Luke Skywalker to use his green lightsaber against these new foes, with Lando Calrissian using a special new type of blaster rifle. Now, the scene was going to involve both Luke and Lando having a back-to-back standoff against these new foes. One moment, of course, of which was also going to involve a segment in which Boba Fett was planned to make a major cameo in the scene to face off against Luke and Lando. Now, the scene was also going to involve Luke Skywalker using his saber to sprint toward a couple of these new enemies. It's unclear if these new enemies are associated with Boba Fett or not. However, Lucasfilm was actually planning to do something very much big that would have eventually evolved the scene to include Boba Fett joining forces with, of course, Luke and Lando to face these new enemies after their fight together, eventually progressing to a trio of Luke, Boba, and Lando taking down these new foes that attempt to take over Jabba's palace after Boba Fett's rule. This was all recently deleted and will be replaced with another Luke Skywalker scene due to not only some delays of the Lando series, but also how Lucasfilm is planning to do a Season 2 of the Book of Boba Fett that could very well change the timeline of the Star Wars show. Currently, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are working on yet another scene that will be just as good for The Mandalorian Season 3. This will all be filmed sometime during February of next year, as Disney and Lucasfilm are progressing very well with the third season. So here's the thing about this. The thing that really gets me the most about why they deleted this scene, and it really does kind of hurt me, knowing that we could have got something so intense like this. A lot of this, like we mentioned, has a lot to do with the fact that the Lando series is going through some delays. And it's one of the main reasons as to why we haven't really been hearing anything at all about the Lando TV series, let alone pre-production at that. There's not a lot of work being done on Lando right now because they're primarily focused on the first wave of Star Wars content, right? Basically, they are focused on the Ahsoka show, Mando Season 3, promoting the Book of Boba Fett, promoting the Star Wars Andor series in early 2022 to set things up for either middle or late next year. I mean, there's a lot of things going on. So this particular scene, I think the thing that really surprised me the most, and I'm not quite sure if it makes a lot of sense, it could have just been used as shock value, take it for what it is, but they really wanted to actually have Boba Fett joining forces with Luke and Lando temporarily in order to actually stand a chance to take down these new foes that are attempting to take over Jabba's palace, to kind of take away Boba Fett's rule. And you can see how the Book of Boba Fett is setting that up. How you see how he is now taking over Jabba's palace and his power. He's going to make enemies himself, and other enemies are going to want to take over that throne of Jabba. I think that obviously what they're doing now is that they are creating all these types of connections between the Book of Boba and Lando. The fact that Lucasfilm is aiming to do a second season of the Book of Boba Fett is also a big deal because, let's face it, 7 episodes, it's decent, but it's not all that long. I get that The Mandalorian is very close to that, but when you have a character like Boba Fett that is so well recognized and so well written, a lot of fans were hoping maybe, 8, 9, 10 episodes out of that show, but it's going to be 7 because they want to create more time space for the Kenobi TV series to release. So that's their plan, that's their structure as to why it's only 7 episodes, because they don't want to stretch it too close to the release of the Kenobi series. They want some time to actually, kind of have a little bit of space, take a break in between TV shows to kind of create the hype for the next Star Wars installment, being the Kenobi series. So that's going to launch in May of 2022, and with the Book of Boba Fett likely spanning all the way until early March, perhaps, give or take, or maybe late February, I think that obviously, a lot of things are coming our way. So overall, guys, let me know what you think about all of this below. Let me know what you think about Boba Fett joining forces with Luke and what that would have been like. Do you guys think that that makes a lot of sense? I think that, given that they did delete/erase the scene and they are replacing it with something just as good, if not better, that's also a plus. We'll have to wait and see exactly what the replacement scene is going to be like for The Mandalorian Season 3. Overall, I think that Disney's on their A game. They know what they're doing. They're very positive on this, very optimistic. And with John and Dave by their side, a lot of great things are coming, without a doubt. So, anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know about all this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.